Imagine stepping into a quiet library in Paris, where the air feels heavy with history. The librarian hands you a pair of gloves and looks you in the eye. Before you touch them, she says, "You need to understand, these notebooks are still radioactive, more than a century later. My friend, those pages aren't just paper. They hold the living energy of one of the most extraordinary minds our world has ever known." This is the story of Marie Curie, a woman who refused to let locked doors, bitter cold, or heartbreaking loss stop her from chasing the invisible forces that shape our universe. Stay with me. Her journey will remind you what's possible when quiet determination meets a restless curiosity. It begins in 1867 in Warsaw, Poland. A little girl named Maria Sklodowska enters the world at a time when her homeland is not truly free. The Russian Empire controls the land, the schools, even the words children are allowed to speak. Polish history is forbidden. The Polish language is pushed aside. Maria's father, a teacher of mathematics and physics, loses his position because the authorities don't trust his independent spirit. The family slips into hardship. Money is tight. Yet in their modest home, scientific instruments, glass tubes, delicate scales, tools that whisper of discovery, sit like quiet treasures. Young Maria spends hours gazing at them, wondering what secrets they hold. She wants to understand everything. She proves to be an extraordinary student with a memory that seems almost magical. She learns to read before most children her age and absorbs every lesson. Even when classes must be conducted in Russian, she answers flawlessly. Her teachers notice this bright, determined girl who stands apart. But one door remains painfully closed: the university in Warsaw does not accept women. No matter how gifted she is, the world tells her science is not for her, simply because she is a girl. That rejection cuts deep. It creates a quiet fire inside her, a longing mixed with frustration that will shape the rest of her life. Maria and a small circle of friends find a daring solution. They create their own secret school, the floating university. Classes move from kitchen tables to hidden back rooms, always one step ahead of the authorities. Getting caught could mean arrest, but they study anyway, hungry for knowledge. At home, Maria makes a loving pact with her older sister Bronia. Maria will work as a governess, sending nearly every coin she earns to Paris so Bronia can study medicine. Once Bronia finishes, she will help Maria follow the same path. It's a plan built on sacrifice and patience. For 5 long years, Maria lives in other people's homes, teaching their children while her own dreams wait. The days are long and lonely. Nights belong to her books, mathematics, physics, chemistry. She reads by lamplight, writes letters asking for recommendations, and teaches herself with fierce discipline. No classroom, no professor, just an unyielding belief that her future is still possible. Those years test her spirit, but they also strengthen it. Then, in 1891 at age 24, Maria boards a train to Paris. She steps into a city alive with scientific energy. At the Sorbonne, women are finally allowed to study. She makes a small but meaningful change, adopting the French spelling Marie. She isn't erasing her roots, she's stepping fully into this new chapter. Life in Paris, however, is far from easy. She rents a tiny attic room with no heat. In winter, she can see her breath. Water freezes in her basin overnight. Food is scarce, some days only bread and a bit of chocolate. She occasionally faints from hunger during lectures, yet she keeps going. Surrounded mostly by men, she focuses only on the blackboard, filling notebook after notebook. In 1893 she earns her physics degree, finishing first in her class. A year later she completes mathematics, ranking near the top. All of this in a new language, on an empty stomach, in freezing rooms. The achievement is remarkable. In Paris, Marie meets Pierre Curie, a thoughtful physicist with a gentle spirit. Their shared love of science blossoms into deep companionship. They marry in 1895. Marie wears a simple dark blue dress, practical enough to wear later in the laboratory. That choice says so much about who she is. The couple sets up in a modest, leaky shed of a lab, damp in winter, stifling in summer. Conditions are far from ideal, but their curiosity turns it into sacred ground. There, inspired by Henri Becquerel's mysterious rays, Marie begins groundbreaking work. She discovers that certain materials emit energy from within their own atoms, not from any external reaction. She coins a beautiful new word for this invisible power, radioactivity. In 1898, she and Pierre announced the discovery of two new elements, polonium, named in honor of her beloved Poland, still under foreign rule, and radium, which gives off a faint, ethereal blue glow in the dark. To isolate even a tiny amount of pure radium, they process tons of pitchblende by hand, stirring, filtering, and separating in their humble space year after year. The physical toll is immense, but the wonder of what they uncover keeps them going. In 1903, Marie becomes the first woman ever to win a Nobel Prize in physics, sharing it with Pierre and Becquerel. Recognition finally arrives, yet greater challenges follow. In 1906, tragedy strikes when Pierre is killed in a street accident. The loss is devastating. Marie is left heartbroken, raising their daughters alone while carrying the weight of their shared dreams. For a time, the world feels dim. But she chooses to continue. The Sorbonne offers her Pierre's professorship. She accepts and becomes the first woman to teach as a full professor there. On her first day, she begins her lecture exactly where Pierre left off, a quiet, powerful tribute to their partnership. Her determination never wavers. In 1911 she wins a second Nobel Prize, this time in chemistry, for her work isolating radium and discovering polonium. She remains the only person to win Nobels in two different scientific fields. During World War I, she designs mobile X-ray units, little Curies, and drives them near the front lines to help doctors locate shrapnel and fractures in wounded soldiers. Her efforts aid more than 1 million men. Marie Curie passed away in 1934 at age 66. Her long exposure to the very radiation she had pioneered contributed to her illness. Today, her notebooks remain radioactive and are stored with care. Her discoveries live on in every chemistry classroom, and polonium still carries the name of a Poland that eventually found its freedom. My friend, think about her journey. Doors were closed because of her gender. Money was scarce. The laboratory was cold and leaky. Grief tried to silence her. Yet she kept showing up, studying in secret, working through hunger, persisting through loss. Her story is living proof that steady, patient effort can illuminate the darkest spaces. That small, consistent steps in pursuit of understanding can change not only your life but the world around you. Wherever you are right now, you have your own quiet work. Maybe learning feels slow some days. Maybe obstacles feel heavy. But remember the faint blue glow of radium that appeared only after years of unseen labor. Every new word you master, every concept that clicks, every moment you choose to keep going, those are your own sparks of light. They may seem small at first, but they grow. They matter. They build something lasting. Marie Curie showed us that resilience isn't loud or flashy. It's the willingness to keep learning when no one is watching, to stay disciplined when results feel far away, and to believe in human potential even when the path is uncertain. You carry that same potential. Keep listening. Keep practicing. Keep glowing in your own way. The world needs what only you can discover. If Marie's story touched you, tell me in the comments, what moment in her life inspired you the most? Was it her secret studies, the blue glow in the lab, or her courage after losing Pierre? I read every one. There are so many more stories of quiet greatness waiting here. Come back soon, my friend. Until then, take care of yourself and never stop reaching for understanding.